Welcome to the Next Week Podcast, episode 36. Wow.
Wow.
I'm your host, Aidan.
I'm your co-host, Mary.
And as always, we'll be on here for an hour, but we'll also be on Patreon for an extra half hour if you want to join that. We have a new YouTube channel now that hosts these videos, the video podcasts, at Next Week Cast. And we also have a Discord that you should join. Everything is linked at nextweeknews.com. And we also post our YouTube videos weekly on the Next Week News channel, the main channel, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. roughly. And the Next Week News videos come out daily every evening on TikTok and Instagram at Next Week News. And once again, that's all at nextweeknews.com. But there is also now like a link tree for the Next Week podcast because we have two different types of submissions. We're trying out a new segment this week where we give advice from next week using our ability to know the future.
Advice from next week.
Patreon theme is still TBD, but we'll have that as well. I feel like it does end up being pretty fun when we do that. It works out both ways. Whether we have a plan for it or
mystery,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, mystery Patreon podcast.
Uh-huh.
And we have some tweets from Mary.
Uh-huh. This one from Smoke is Medicine. What if guys went bald every fall like trees losing leaves, but then it always grew back in the spring like trees?
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. So like losing
But
the
I feel
hair.
like my head would get cold. Like that's the time when you want hair.
Yeah. You gotta wear a hat.
Like trees lose their leaves in order to conserve their internal heat. Maybe it would help conserve the internal heat, but I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The leaves use energy in a way that hair doesn't. But I really like the idea of it, so I'm just going to ignore any attempts to make it functional.
Yeah.
We just lose our hair.
Don't question it too much.
Nope.
The next one was a story about the dog who climbed the Great Pyramid of Giza, a landmark full of history, prestige, and it was barking at birds up there. So it climbed all the way to the top of like one of the pyramids in Egypt and was just to bark at birds.
Love that.
I think, yeah, that was just... This one was from @JedWill, but it was just like the general story. I thought that would be a good news story.
It would be. Dog
Next
climbs
week
all the way to the top just to be a dog.
Yeah, pretty
Love
much. How did it even get up there? I feel like there's security. I don't know.
You can climb the Great Pyramid of Giza?
Dogs can. Birds can.
I gotta fact check that.
Been.
I feel like that's something we shouldn't be letting people climb.
Well, I feel like they didn't. I feel like they don't. I think the dog... That's why I'm thinking there's security and the dog just got up there somehow.
Well, there was a video of the dog up there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
So they didn't let the dog go up there. I think the dog just went up there. That's what I'm saying. You didn't buy a ticket. And they're like, sure, go on ahead, dog. Oh, and then this was not a tweet that I sent, but I just saw it. I didn't fact check this. I don't fact check usually.
There's a lot of weird stuff on Twitter that Mary just like
This
sends.
one was
and then we read on here.
Instagram.
Oh, it was Instagram.
This one was the
That changes things.
the combo dog fox that was found. This animal got hit by a car and was brought into a vet, and it turns out that it was a combo of a dog and a fox. And they think it can reproduce.
Are we sure about that? Who's the source of this?
Instagram.
Instagram in general.
I think it was in like Brazil or something. I don't know. I already exited out.
Crazy things happening around the world.
That's why I warned that combo dog fox. Oh, he's so cute. It's a dog sim.
A what?
Oh, this was 2021. It's happened a few years ago.
People just.
But yeah, it was in Brazil.
People love to resurface old stuff as like engagement bait.
Oh, it died 6 months after being discovered. They're investigating the cause of death.
Rest in peace.
Aww. Huh. Yeah, but that was another thing. It was cute.
So it was posted by some like pseudo news channel on Instagram that was
Yeah.
going for likes.
Yeah. I get a lot of those.
Still a fun story.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hear about it in 2021. I'm glad I heard about it now. I know that it's possible.
It was a cute picture of it.
Gives me hope.
Well, we'll jump into our news segment. I don't have any tweets from this week, so we'll jump into the news segment, which is
Advice from next week.
Yeah, anonymous submissions that people send in of stuff they got going on, stuff they want to know about, and we tell you from next week what you should do.
Because you were 1 week older, 1 week wiser than the lay person.
And everything we say should be taken for absolute truth. Word for word as we say it.
Yeah. Should we just switch?
Yeah,
off?
we don't. This is a new one, so we don't really have a way that we go about doing it. I just listed them all. Everything. There aren't rules, but I listed everything that was sent.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll go through all of it, because the other ones we have to kind of pick and choose because we can't go through that many submissions and give them all the time that they need. But with these ones,
we got some questions, we
could be a bit quicker.
Wanting advice. Yeah. So this person is saying, yesterday I released 26 rubber duckies into the ocean. Where will they end up?
Rubber duckies want to go to the North Pole. That's kind of where they tend to go to when they're freed.
I'm imagining they'll follow the current
to the North Pole.
Is that where the current will lead them? What ocean did
they can kind of pick and choose? I think Yeah. There's different currents that go on in the ocean. They kind of go in like little loops.
You're right. Now that I'm sensing and getting really in touch with these 26 rubber duckies, the current that they are on will bring them to the North Pole. You are correct.
So if they're in that current, if they're in the Atlantic, there's that one that goes in a clockwise kind of circle. It's not a circle, but a loop. But maybe they can take an exit as they kind of reach that
the exit ramp.
Yeah, the exit ramp as they reach wherever it is that takes them to the North Pole.
Oh yeah, because it's not under construction anymore. It was closed for a while.
Yeah, they had to take the one that brought them to England first. That was tough for them. They didn't like that.
Yeah, that little detour. But yeah, so that's all 26. Well, 25. Unfortunately, one of them didn't make it.
Got stuck in some rocks.
I was gonna say shark.
And stomped by a shark at the same time.
Yep.
Stomped by a shark.
Yeah, but it was fine. No pain. No anything.
It's a rubber duck.
A rubber ducky. Yeah.
A rubber ducky. My apologies.
So there's that advice. Do you want to read?
Do you think all of them made it? Are we aware if all of them made it?
I just said one of them didn't.
I mean, like all of the rest of them.
Oh.
I don't have eyes on the North Pole that I know of.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like once they get there, who knows what's going to happen? Like, will the elves find them and give them out for Christmas or something?
True. Is there kind of a cycle that goes on?
Yeah, or the narwhal take a couple. They probably will get split up once they get there.
The narwhals spike them.
And all the
but they like it.
Yeah, they like it.
No, they have that little hole at the bottom that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Will cyclists be buffed or debuffed? I think. All right. Maybe context is necessary here, but I think cyclists have had it too good for too long.
Huh.
Do I wholeheartedly agree with that? I don't know, but I have to pick a side.
So you think they're going to be debuffed?
Yeah, as in like the bikes don't really work very well anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like biking's too easy.
Yeah.
Have you seen a bike how it stays upright when you don't like even when you aren't even on it, when it's rolling, it like self steers and keeps itself upright? That's not happening anymore.
They don't do that.
That's how.
What are you talking about?
Well, like when a bike is rolling
and
with sufficient speed.
Yeah.
Like it is able to steer. It's like if a bike falls, it then steers itself to go back upright at a sufficient speed. Just naturally, that's how the physics of it work.
I don't think cycling's that easy.
Oh, I forgot who we're dealing with here. You want it to be buffed?
No, I don't. I'm with you. For different reasons, though.
What are your reasons? Do you have reasons?
I don't need it
or are
to
they
be better.
Nebulous and also confidential? So you want it to just stay the same?
I don't know. I was thinking about the cyclists themselves getting really buff or really really good at cycling, or they're taken down a notch. I agree with you about the debuffing, taking them down a notch, but for just different reasons. I don't need to share my reasons.
Okay.
They're private.
Next one is, what's the banana market looking like? Any changes in price?
Dropped.
Mm. So from what I've seen, because I got the bananas pulled up here, like their usual kind. It's not like their stock price, but their commodity price. It does drop a bit, like pretty sharply at the start. So from last week, drops a bit, but then the drop itself kind of like slows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it kind of curves down that way.
Yeah.
And then as the week goes on, we see it recover a bit, and it kind of comes back a little bit. It comes back a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but very gradually, not all the way. So it kind of forms this shape where it starts off pretty high, drops at the start, and then kind of curves back. Not quite sure what you call that shape.
Like a crescent, the shape of like a
Yeah,
crescent moon.
not. It's a little bit like
Not as
not as round as a crescent.
okay.
Like it's got some flatness to
like,
it, but it's
like
still
the bottom of a
curves.
smiley face.
The bottom of like a smirking smiley face, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a mischievous smiley face.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Mischievous.
I could see that.
Mischievous versus mischievous. I learned that those are like two ways to pronounce it, but like
Mischievous.
mischievous has a very
I just thought they were different words.
well. They're mischievous. How would you define both of them?
In a similar way. I don't say mischievous.
Mischievous. Like there's no I or E after the V to add the extra vious, but
Okay, why are you coming
it
after
goes back
mischievous?
because
right now?
I said mischievous in a video this week, and I was like looking it up. Like, is that the right way to say it? Like mischievous versus mischievous? Because
Oh, wow.
mischievous has like it hits better, for
Yeah.
sure. Like mischievous.
Yeah, mischievous is like what?
Mischievous. That's
I've
just like
never said-
there's.
yeah.
It's tough to accentuate that word.
It's probably like a regional thing.
Well, both of them do have like long-running historical accuracies. You can pronounce it both ways, even though there's no like there's no spelling reasoning to say mischievous. It works. I like it better. Mischievous. Anyway, bananas have this weird shape to their price next week. Not really sure how to define it. I'll let you read one.
Yeah. Will water bottles gain sentience and be annoyed at how we use them?
I do think so. If your water bottle could speak and think,
I'm always throwing mine around.
yeah.
It would be a little annoyed.
Unless it finds that fun, unless it enjoys being jostled a bit.
Yeah. That's true.
Maybe it's someone who's, spontaneous, never really like wants to know what's coming next, wants to be surprised. That would be a good water bottle for you.
But okay, so yes, they will gain sentience. Like that's not a question. It's yes. Another thing though, a lot of people don't wash their water bottles a lot.
Oh, true.
So do water bottles like being washed? Probably.
It
And so
probably
they-
feels good.
Yeah, so they'll probably be annoyed that we don't wash them like ever. Like maybe once every couple months.
If I'm a dishware of any sort, I love being in that dishwasher.
Oh,
That probably feels
yeah.
so
It's
good.
like the water park.
Yeah. It's like the water park and like a fun shower, like a good, relaxing shower mixed at once.
Ooh, I'm kind of sad I'll never experience that.
I know. I wish we could put like a face mask on so we could breathe at least and then just experience being in the dishwasher.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be nice.
I can think of an instance that my water bottle might like how I use it when when they're a cat that's misbehaving who's very afraid of the like squeezy Gatorade bottle. So if all I have to don't even squeeze it at him, just aim it at him, and he like gets really scared. His pupils get huge, and then he like will run away. I think the water bottle likes that.
It likes being weaponized.
Yeah.
It likes being seen as a threat.
Yeah. Yeah. I can think that it would like that.
Do you think that's how it sees too, like out the opening?
Probably, yeah, for sure. Where else would it see from?
I don't know. The side. Little eyes.
Probably depends on the water bottle.
It does.
Ooh, like the Owalas or the ones with the lid. Their eyes are probably inside, so then we put the cover and they can't even see for the most part.
Those ones are probably so full of themselves. The ones that
Yeah.
have the straw and the
Stan-
pour ability.
Oh yeah, Stanleys are probably.
They probably
also
think they're all that.
so full. They probably love all the accessories they get.
Oh, for sure.
They're, oh my God. They're all blinked up.
I can kind of picture the type of person that they are. Like they have a
The exact people who
they have a
use them.
pretty they have a pretty direct comparison to a type of person.
Yeah.
Not to offend anybody who has Stanley water bottles. It's
Yeah.
the classic Stanley like trend type of person.
Mm-hmm. Like they always got their little necklace of snacks on, and they got
Necklace
their
of snacks.
yeah. Have you not? Okay, so we're
Oh,
talking
on the
about-
Stanley.
on the Stanley, yeah, they have a little thing that you can put like on top, I think, or it goes kind of around it. That's got little snack compartments. You fill it up with snacks.
Oh my goodness.
And then on the straw on top, there's like you can have a little charm, and like it you put it on top, it closes the straw so it won't spill, and you can like attach so much stuff. Like you can have a little chapstick thingy, and yeah. So
sounds like you really want one.
no, what would I? No.
You know what it is?
If I had a car.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a video about it. Like this is just like car coded.
Yeah.
Like this is how you accessorize things when you're driving everywhere.
Because I like walking or taking transportation, like I would have to be carrying it everywhere. I do have an Awala, so
Gotta have an Awala.
yeah, that I can fling around, won't spill. It's perfect. Okay.
Who thanks Beyonce next? I want to say George Bush. Is that? So what is this? Like I know that you roughly know about it. I don't really know anything about it. I know that JoJo Siwa thanked Beyonce.
Yeah, I tried looking into what it was before, and when I saw the JoJo Siwa stuff, and then I couldn't. It was like a trend, I guess. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't try that hard, I guess.
I'm going with George Bush.
I'm gonna go with Elmo.
Elmo.
Yeah.
That's probably a better one.
I could see him doing that. Hopping on a trend. So our next one, our person looking for some advice. I moved halfway across the country and I left my girlfriend and we said we would make it work, but she's become distant and not communicating often, and I don't know if I should end things because it's only for a year and a half, but after that I'm going back to that same state. I don't want to end things because she means so much to me and I love her so much, but I feel like an afterthought.
So
Any
this
advice?
is historically a comedy show where we say things that are funny. Do we go into serious mode here?
I think we have to.
Do we have to go into serious mode?
Yeah.
Because you read this, and the knee-jerk reaction is just like, no! Like the writing's on the wall is a knee-jerk reaction, but I don't know what's going on. I don't need them cursing my name in their wedding vows.
Yeah. Yeah, because I do have some extra questions of how long has it been thus far. My advice is to talk about it. I doesn't indicate here if it has been talked about.
See, you ask these follow-up questions, I just go right for the answer. Long distance.
Yeah, because a year and a half,
Tough.
that is a good amount of time.
If you're young and you're leaving for a year and a half, that's a lot of time for
Yeah,
people to
see,
become different, for people to grow. You know, you maybe make new friends. Things happen where if you aren't there, it's tough to go back and pick up from where you left off. Not that it's impossible, and going back to the context of this, that not that you can't go back and enjoy the relationship like it was before, but it does kind of seem like there are some doubts that, over a year and a half, that might weigh on you. That's tough to put up with for that long.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, first step is talking about it and being like, I notice you're distant and you're not communicating. Or, well,
Be
maybe
really,
don't say it
really
like that.
confrontational
Don't
about
say
it.
it like that. But yeah, because you don't want it to like extend and then have things like end on bad terms if it does end up ending. Like you don't want to like drag it out if you're being upset.
Crash and burn.
Yeah,
Burn the bridges.
You don't want that.
Never go back.
Keep us updated, I guess, if you want.
From next week, I'm not sure if we can tell you a whole lot.
Yeah.
Year and a half, maybe. if we were a year and a half ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any boyfriend updates we need to know about? Not this week. They tend to come on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Next month news is wrong. Anything they tell you, can't trust it. So next month we don't quite know about yet. We're due for one in like 3 weeks or so. That's their usual cadence.
Yeah. No boyfriend updates.
Not
They'll
yet.
stay the same. Boring.
Hopefully they're still pretty involved with their new machine.
Oh yeah,
'Cause that was
yeah.
the recent
Watching their
one.
new machine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Although that does kind of fade quickly. You know, you watch it for a couple of cycles, you kind of get the gist of it, and then you move on to a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's not that you necessarily need something new and exciting every single week.
Yeah. That would be too much.
That would be too much. The excitement would then become routine. And then it's no longer exciting.
Yeah.
Do you want to read the next one?
Sure. Do I try getting back with my ex? We're friends now. We still obviously love each other.
I sense a theme here.
Yeah. No.
I've never seen that go wrong. I don't think I can imagine.
Getting back together?
No, I don't think I've ever seen a situation where like that like ends up with unhappiness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see your point. I see your point. Have you ever even seen this situation then?
Have I seen the situation? Oh, many times.
Okay.
Within the next week, yes.
My advice is the same as the last one. You talk to them about it. Because if we still obviously love each other, maybe you do and maybe they do, but it could be a different kind of love and you don't want to assume and then get hurt again.
No, she definitely does.
I do.
I don't want. Okay.
I want to see them get hurt again. Is that what you were saying?
No, I was saying that she obviously loves. Although I don't want to be mean.
Hey, there's no. I was gonna say there's no genders on here. We can assume it's she.
Oh, there isn't. I thought there was. Oh, I assumed. Didn't mean to assume.
It's okay.
Tricky one. I do think it's fair to say 9 times out of 10, probably not a good idea.
Why'd you break up in the first place? We
Exactly.
need more tea here.
Fill us in. What were the deets? Give us the deets.
We should start doing the "Am I the asshole?" videos. I love watching those. It's fun to read, just spew opinions. I guess
It's
it's
kind of
what
a
we're doing.
saturated market.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next one.
Tell me why.
Ain't
We're still looking for the
nothing
why.
but heartache.
The why has been something that we've sought for millennia, but we are finding it next week. It's not something that we can kind of tell you. You just kind of know. Like, oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of if I've discovered my why this past week. I know that I have. I just, it kind of happens. It's one of those things where it's this big, sparkling, shiny object where you want it, and then when you have it, you're like, whatever.
Or it's
Forget
this
about it.
small furry object.
You have your why.
It's a cat.
And she'll never even know. Maybe she'll know.
She knows.
She knows.
She's been so cuddly this week.
Ah.
She knows. I have those moments, or like they're like, yeah, like maybe a week, or I don't know, those moments where it's like, oh, she loves me. It's really nice.
I'm trying to think if I've had any experiences this week where I was like, that's what it's all about. That's what this is all for.
I was just
You had an itch?
it looked like I was pointing at myself, but I just had
You're
an
like,
itch
just
under
twiddling
my
something around
chin.
there.
Yeah.
Maybe the crisp feeling of walking outside in a jacket. That's a good feeling.
No, it was a little too chilly for me.
Too chilly?
My first sip of this Dr. Pepper, that was another why.
I've been making a lot of fettuccine Alfredo this week.
That sounds really
It's
good.
pretty delish. With some chicken in it.
Ooh, when I not at the chicken, the meal that I made, it was a chicken risotto. Oh, that first bite. That was a why.
The chicken risotto or the chicken orzo?
I meant orzo. The chicken orzo.
Which I had it and she doesn't believe me that I really liked it.
He didn't. Yeah. He didn't eat it as fast as he usually eats his meals, and he
So I
didn't
didn't
even get
scarf
seconds.
it down and then wolf down the rest of it.
Yeah, and because there was like tomatoes in it, he doesn't like tomatoes, and there was spinach in it, and he was like, "What is that?" He's like,
A
"Okay."
vegetable?
He was wary about it.
Bleh.
But yeah, my first bite of that, I said, "This is so good." That was my why of that weekend.
I found we've gone through a couple of whys this past week. There's a couple whys that I guess we've now told you about.
Yeah. The last piece of advice: will my boyfriend finally master teleportation?
Should I do a bit where I have like that silence and then I blink off screen, like I leave, cut it, and then come back?
That'd be cool.
I wait here for a second. That's gonna be so hysterical. That's a good one.
So yes, he did master teleportation, and he's using it for evil.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an easy thing to use for evil.
Nefarious purposes for sure.
Yeah, like how would you even use that for good? I guess unless you're like saving someone from like a
There's a lot of ways you could probably use it for good.
but there's more ways you could use it for evil, unless you're stopping evil. No, more ways to use it for evil.
There's a lot
Like,
of ways to use it for evil.
Tapping someone on the shoulder and then teleporting away.
Like being on the side where they'd look and then acting like you were on the other side.
Yeah, you could ding dong ditch so good. You could get like 100 houses in 10 minutes.
You could also just go anywhere. Like, you wouldn't have to lock doors, not an issue. Big fences, big walls.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter.
Ooh.
Nowhere is out of bounds anymore. Like there are places that are out of bounds. You can't go there. Like it's against the rules. We decided that that's against the rules. Out of bounds, no longer in play.
Just for this person's boyfriend.
Yeah.
This is not an all boyfriend update.
No,
this is
no,
just
no.
this person's boyfriend who's been working on this and was a novice, now has finally mastered it.
And me, as you just saw.
Oh, yeah.
But
And him.
maybe I have like limited use. I haven't quite figured it out yet.
Yeah. Well, because being in next week, can take his technology and use it.
Maybe I get like
himself.
samples that I can talk about. I get samples of being able to teleport.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all the submissions we had for the advice from next week. We hope you enjoyed that segment. And
I sure did.
if you have anything that you need to know that would be something that we could tell you about a week in the future, send it to us on the link where the usual submissions are.
Mm-hmm. Now moving on to your regularly scheduled program.
The next week news report submissions.
Was that your jingle?
Yeah.
That was so lengthy. The next week news report.
Welcome to the part where we talk about the next week news report submissions.
Why not like next week news report submissions? Something like that.
Doesn't have to be a song.
It's a jingle.
Doesn't have to be a jingle.
But it is a jingle. Okay. Next week, you will find out that aliens definitely aren't real. Stop asking me if aliens are real. They are not real, I promise. You can't check, though, because documents are classified, but they're not real, trust me. That is from CIA Director William J. Burns.
Well, you've heard it here first. Aliens,
Not real.
not real, confirmed.
Yep, not by the documents, but by the CIA Director, which reliable source.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's the guy.
Yeah, stop asking him. They're not real.
Not real.
He's seen the documents, I'm sure, and then he's telling us what the documents say. They're not real.
Like, there's stuff under those, like, big black boxes that they put on the paper, that they put on the pages, or, like, the scan pages, or however they do it.
Yeah.
Nothing important's really under there.
Yeah.
It's kind of just, like, boring.
Yeah.
They do a good job of taking the boring parts and putting, like, just plastering that black ink over it.
Yeah, so then you can just kind of skim and be like, just see the important parts. And you don't have to worry about, like, what's under the boxes.
Like, they do actually have a guy. The government has, like, an expert on things that are boring. And it's not like he tells you. It's like you can, like, tell by his reaction, like, boring. And they kind of scan him as he reads the document, and the parts where he's like, that's when they start the black ink.
Yeah, the Lieutenant Director of Boring.
Yeah, the Lieutenant Director of Boring.
LDB.
LDB, OTUS. Labotus. Yeah, the Labotus just is really good at giving us just the interesting parts that
LD
are
Botus.
publicly readable. Lidobotus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Burns.
Yeah, thank you for confirming
for sending
this.
that in, and finally setting the record straight that aliens are just not real.
Mm-hmm.
M&Ms are announcing that we've been saying their name wrong. The emphasis is not on any of the M's, but on the and, or the ampersand. Part of the statement reads, the ideal pronunciation of our brand name is such that it sounds sort of like the personal name Amanda, but with an MS affixated to the end of it, thus M&Ms. The public isn't sure what to do with this information, but they do want some M&Ms.
No, they want some amendums. You read it wrong.
Amendums. They want. I need to make an amendment, an amendum.
Yeah.
Whoa! I can make an amendum to that statement.
Yeah.
And fix it and say that it's amendums.
Amandums.
Amendums.
Amandums.
Whoa. That one's from Tagi Hiragi. Or is it Teiji Hiraji?
I don't know. We've been saying Tagi Hiragi.
We have been. Maybe we've been saying it wrong.
We should ask.
Well, this is going to take some getting used to.
I know. I was Amanda.
Gonna have to really, really think every time you eat
Amandum.
one.
Amandums.
Amandums.
Oh, give me that amandum.
I'd like to have one amandum, please.
That's wow. They let us say their name wrong for so long.
They do make the ampersand quite big, and the letters are like lowercase.
That's true. We should have known.
We should have known. Like this has been out there.
How is this going to change the taste?
I don't know.
I think it's going to really change
because like
taste.
you put the emphasis on the M's, and that's been giving us like a really chocolatey taste.
Yeah.
Does putting the emphasis on the ampersand, the and, give us more of like that coating taste?
Wait. What does the M stand for? What did the M's stand for?
I don't know. We've never questioned it.
Now I'm questioning this whole name.
Do we need more info?
What is it, Mud and Memory or something?
Mud and Memory?
What else do you think it is? I'm taking to Google.
No idea.
What?
Mary must note Mary did a good job this week. She put her phone on Do Not Disturb so she'd behave.
Yeah.
For the first time, I
I was
think.
getting so many texts. Oh, it's for the last names of the candy's founders, Forrest Mars and Bruce Murray.
Mars and Murray.
Oh, he's the founder of the Mars Company. The son of the founder. Oh. They're a Nepo candy.
Who's Murray? Where did he come from?
He was this... What do you think? Another Nepo baby. The son of William Murray, the president of Hershey Chocolate. Amandum is a Nepo candy. You heard it here first, unless you already knew that.
It's like a grand Nepo candy.
Yeah, the combination of the first initials of their last names, Mars and Murray, Mars Company, and Hershey Chocolate. Oh, because it was made with Hershey Chocolate.
I don't believe that.
It was first produced in
The
1941, and it's from New Jersey. It's a New Jersey Nepo candy.
The Amandums don't taste like Hershey's chocolate.
Well, initially, the partnership allowed it to be made with Hershey Chocolate as Hershey controlled chocolate rationing at that time.
All of it?
Yeah, apparently. It might, I don't know if it's still Hershey, but...
What a wild era when you could just own chocolate.
Yeah. How will this change?
This has really, really thrown a wrench in the potential enjoyment and how much I want Amandums now.
They don't sound like they taste as good. Amandums.
Amandums? I think we'll get used to it.
Yeah, they still use Hershey chocolate. Oh, wait. Post-war.
Oh, we forgot the war. Let us not forget about the war.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting mixed reviews. I don't know. I'll have to look into it later. Wow.
I did a good stare there where I can like have you reading along and then I can put some like planes flying overhead as I'm like 1,000 yards staring. That's going to be a
About
good
the
clip.
war?
The war.
Oh. You were thinking about it?
Just thinking about the war.
I wasn't even
It's gonna
looking
be
at you.
so funny.
You might be presented with the button next week. A large, mysterious, cartoony, unlabeled red button. No word on what it does or where it came from. Great catastrophe may ensue if you push it. Or it could be great fortune, or both. So just be mindful. That is from Stratmaster J in the Discord.
Have you been practicing for this one?
My button pushing
Yeah,
or my
like,
decision making?
Your will you push the button?
You
Decision
know
making?
I have been, yeah. I'm always practicing. I got my "that was easy" button. I push it all the time.
Have you been to that old website? Remember that thing? The will you push the button? Gives you two options.
I think
and
I do.
push the button or don't push the button.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, so so I work on "that was easy" on my button pushing in general.
Like
and
that's
then,
the physical button pushing?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But then that one is more of like a decision, like practicing making, do I push it or do I not? Do I push it or do I not?
Always push the button.
I think when we're considering statistics, I think odds are better if you should push it. It's right when it's like the odds of getting like when behind the door, blah blah blah, and then you take a door away, blah blah blah, and something when the odds increase or decrease or something. You know that problem.
Yeah. So when you're faced with a situation where there's 3 doors
Mm-hmm.
and you pick one and then they take away one of the doors that they know that you know is wrong, you always switch,
Yeah.
or you always push the button.
Yeah. You always push the button.
Yeah, so
That's basically
three
it.
doors, they take one away. You push the button.
Mm-hmm.
Like you always push the button.
Yeah, because it could be great fortune, and it could be both. The odds of getting great fortune are 2 out of 3. The great catastrophe also 2 out of 3. So it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. 2 out of 3 chance of something happening.
3 out of 3 chance, kinda.
4 out of 3 chance.
Oh, because if you don't push
You
it,
take the 2/3 chance of something cool happening, given the door scenario with the button, and then you minus the 2/3 chance of something bad happening, but that doesn't affect the good happening. So you still have a 2/3 chance of something good happening, and you get to push the button. That's like worth a third
Oh, that's a good
itself.
thing.
So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that all adds up to 1.
Yeah. So it's 4/3.
I have heard that the button's like really fun to push. Like it is like the most satisfying haptic sensation of pushing this button.
Yeah. How many people are they presenting the button with?
Everybody gets the button.
Everyone?
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe just like they would choose a few people and they might get it because it's like you might be presented.
Well, like you get the button, but like no, like everyone who's not you doesn't get the button, but everyone who experiences themselves gets a button to push.
Okay.
So like you have an experience. You have an experience of the self, right?
I guess.
So therefore you get a button.
Okay.
But like in your case, I wouldn't get a button because I'm not you.
Yeah. So
But in my case, I get a button.
in my world, I get a button.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's simple, really.
Okay, I guess. I'm following.
All right. Well, I'm pushing the button no matter what. Starting next week, everybody will disappear for 10 seconds at random. Nobody knows where they go. It happens to everyone at random and only once. Nobody wants to talk about where they go, and no.
And that is from Lethal Goon in the Discord. Aidan has disappeared, I believe, for 10 seconds. We'll ask him. Well, once he gets back, we'll inquire about where he went.
Let's move on. We'll go to the next one.
You don't want to talk about it?
No. Did you disappear?
No.
Where'd you go? Oh, you didn't go anywhere?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
I don't believe you.
it's at random. I haven't disappeared yet.
Are you sure?
I think so. Why do you want me to disappear?
No, I don't. But that was weird that it only happened to me. It says everybody disappears.
But at random.
Oh, okay. So
it
this could
be
happen
wh-
anytime.
Yeah, it could be whenever.
Intriguing. We'll still move
Only
to the
one.
next one anyway. And hopefully Mary doesn't get taken away and then I have to take over completely.
Hopefully not.
Or just wait 10 seconds for you to come back.
Yeah. Longest 10 seconds of my life. Goldfish have now been nerfed due to their original buffs being too broken, according to carnival officials. Lifespans have decreased by 6% and they can no longer randomly duplicate overnight. That is from Pat's Printing. I thought we were talking about the food goldfish.
That was my initial impression too.
Because I was like, oh, too broken, because like the crackers are always broken in the thing. But then it said carnival, and I was like, carnival? So I think you mean the fish.
Yes.
Like the animal.
Which makes sense because that's what the cracker is based off of.
Yeah. What?
Hmm.
Wait. Those are related?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were two separate things. Lifespans decreased by 6%. They're already so short.
I think we've had one before where they were increased. Do you remember that one? We got to go back to the records, to the archive, and figure out what happened
I
there.
don't remember. But whatever it was.
Because there was something where they were able to make it home, at least.
Yeah.
Because they never make it home.
Yeah.
But maybe they weren't meant to make it home.
Mm.
Decreased by 6%. See, that's like they lose a couple of minutes
Yeah.
in the life of a goldfish. Like they
Pretty
lose
much.
they lose roughly the length that it's going to take us to break down this story.
Yeah. Like out of like their 5-hour lifespan, they lose a few minutes.
And they can't randomly duplicate overnight. I think that's a good change.
Yeah.
Because you have one goldfish. You can't just end up with two.
Yeah, if you wanted more,
That's
you
not
would have
fair.
you would have
You would have won
gotten
them.
yeah, you would have gotten more tickets and you would have won more goldfish.
And also, like if you win one and you end up with two,
That's not fair.
yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair to you because you won one.
Mm-hmm.
They got to deal with two.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair to the carny who now has given away two fish for the price of one.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable.
Mm-mm. But so they were originally.
I'm trying to remember what the first one was.
I don't know. It was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
They were originally buffed,
That was like one of the first ones, I think.
and now they have been nerfed.
I like a good balance, though. It's good. It's good to meet in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, if you notice, if it's like the update we did isn't working out, too broken. It's nice that they're admitting to their mistakes and they're correcting this.
So it sounds okay. 6%. They're able to still make it home, I think,
Depending on how long your drive is.
depending on how long your
If
drive
you drove
is.
far away for the
Yeah.
carnival.
Depending on if you won them like at the start of when you were there
Mm-hmm.
or at the end
You
of
had
when
to
you were
carry
there.
them around. If they
Yeah.
rode some roller coasters, that takes some minutes off their life.
But add some enjoyment for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It increases quality, just decreases quantity.
We got to figure out how roller coasters affect goldfish.
Yeah.
Do you think they like them? I'm gonna go with yes.
Oh, I just broke my ponytail. It flew somewhere. Sorry.
Gotta get you a new thing to fiddle with.
Yeah. What am I gonna fiddle with?
Start chugging Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I'm almost out.
Got to do something with your hands.
Twiddle. Here it comes. Oh, I got a bracelet. I don't want to break
Snap that one.
it. I don't want to break it.
Breaking news. Breaking. Breaking news from
Hey.
next week. Okay, let me restart this one. a third time. Breaking news from next week. They're coming back. Easy. Wait a minute. Breaking news from next week. They're coming back. That's right. You ever get the feeling that you are being watched? Well, those creatures are called aglos, and they're coming back from their bi-monthly vacation. And this one's from Blue Like the Color. I had been getting kind of the relaxing sense of no longer having like an impending doom around me at all times.
Mm.
But I'd gotten used to that. I'd kind of missed it.
You missed feeling like you were being watched.
Yeah. Because, routine. There's comfort in routine.
Yeah, and like knowing
that's
you're
been
not
something
alone.
I've been experiencing. Oh, I know I'm not alone.
Yeah, you don't want to feel lonely, and the Aglos are good at helping with that.
Like they've never done anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will they? I don't know.
Yeah.
Add some fun excitement. It's it's an unknown
Mm-hmm.
that constantly surrounds you.
Yeah. Will they do something? Won't they do something?
I wonder if they're also the voices. The voices are probably separate, right?
I would imagine that's a separate creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because
Kinda
they have to
coworkers.
coordinate their vacations. Like they can't have all the creatures going on vacation at once.
Oh yeah.
They gotta switch off. And I also, so when we say bi-monthly vacation, is that twice a month or is that every other month? Because that can be used both ways. And I need to know their vacation schedule.
So yeah, this is different because there's biennial, like every 2 years, and biannual,
What did you just say?
just like
Biennial?
biennial, like on an
Like
annual
bicentennial?
basis. No, that's every 200 years. But every 2 years, I think I might have it backwards, is biennial, and then every twice a year is biannual.
Yeah.
But there's no monthly variation of that.
Well,
I
because
like
you
how-
can say bi-weekly can either mean twice a week or once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's no monthly
Just-
or weekly or daily version of that. And I think there should be.
Yeah. Either way, hopefully we can get a clear answer on this, so we know when we need to. So I know at least when I need to come and lurk and watch you.
Yeah, gotta have someone fill in.
Yeah.
It is nice that
Gotta
they.
keep an eye on you.
It's nice that they kind of coordinate this in advance, and it's on a regular schedule.
The regular vacation.
Yeah, because the voices were still there for sure.
Yeah, so they weren't on vacation. So it's definitely a different creature.
Yeah, the sense of impending doom was notably absent from the voices. The
Mhm.
voices were kind of soothing.
Like a little, like a white noise or a green noise.
Yeah, but like in like a language that you don't understand, but yet you kind of get what they're getting at.
Yeah, so the dark noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll go back to being its regular, like, scary thoughts next week.
Probably. Yeah. Well, once the Aglos come back.
This is a fun one.
Yeah. I hope they enjoy Disney World.
I really hope they do. Where do you think they just like go to the Haunted Mansion over and over again? They just
Yeah. Or
spam that ride.
The Tower of Terror. Running back in
Tower
line.
of Terror, Haunted Mansion. Those are the two things they go to.
Yeah.
They love it.
Over and over. Breaking news, boyfriends will enter their producing phase. They will make music based on their favorite artists, only for it to sound nothing like it, often saying, "It's fire," when it is, more than often, not. They will force you to listen, and if you say anything bad about it, they'll say, "You don't get it." Reports have seen that it lasts for about 3 weeks before they realize how they lack the skill and musical knowledge before giving up. And that is from Anonymous.
I am so excited to enter my era of, briefly albeit, but enter my era of becoming Cage the Elephant.
I am excited to see that it only lasts for about 3 weeks.
It's kind of a while. I can get a lot done in that time. I can make a full album.
Yeah. It's fire.
I'm feeling the itch to get started right now.
Oh man.
Should I buy a guitar?
Not your producing era.
Producing.
You do already have the keyboard.
My DIYing this thing. I do have the keyboard that I never ever use. It's a MIDI keyboard, so it takes some effort to make it make noise. AKA, got to plug it into my laptop, and then it plays out of the laptop speakers.
Well, I won't say anything bad about your producing.
Well, that's part of it, is like you have to, because, I mean, it's fire during the time when I'm making it. Like, it's kind of gas.
Yeah.
But the realization will come.
That you don't have the skill.
Yeah.
Or musical knowledge.
Yeah. This will be fun, though. I'm excited to see what songs I write. Do you think I'll be on the Billboard charts?
No, you're just producing. You're not writing.
Well, I guess I'm DIYing. I don't have anybody to produce for. I don't
I
have
guess.
I don't have people lined up asking me to mix and master.
You could find some.
Sure, I could.
You're entering your producer.
Actually, yeah. Send me
As-
stuff. Send me email me stem files. Give me your stuff, and I'll produce it. I have the software. It came with the Apple, like the thing that I use to make the videos. Also came with like a solid music production thing.
I mean, I think, yeah, like clearly this is maybe you haven't fully entered your producing phase yet, because if you had, you would already be like asking and trying to find people to produce. So
Ooh, Next Week Records.
ooh.
It never comes out. It's always a week away. It's one of those things where the release date just keeps getting pushed back a week. That's good. If you have music that like you should be making but you keep putting it off, just sign with Next Week Records, because then you never actually have to make it.
Mm-hmm. That's a great pitch.
Yeah, we just keep pushing it back to next week endlessly, and people do that. People garner a lot of attention by doing that, and then it never comes out. Like they scrap the project, like they didn't like the way there was like creative disagreements or something, and then you've done nothing. You've gotten all the attention, and people just have the assumption that you're this great artist that didn't have their vision fully realized. So fraud is really what Next Week Records is going to be. That's exciting.
Next Week Evil.
Is that fraud? Or is that just like shady marketing?
I think it depends how you do it. If you're not taking people's money.
Oh, I'm taking a lot of money from this. There's a lot of money involved.
Okay.
This is exciting.
I mean, depending on if they sign the contract, and it has that in the contract.
No contracts will be signed. It'll be all handshake agreements, and we have a lot of burned bridges.
Then there's nothing in writing, and you're fine.
Oh boy. Well, that was our last submission for the week. Wow. We're a little bit under time, but we have gone like 7 minutes over.
Yeah.
Not saying that because we're exactly like 53 minutes in, but do we have any closing notes? Anything pressing on your mind?
No.
Well, I guess we'll hop on over to the Patreon episode then. Thanks for joining us for this roughly hour of Next Week News, the podcast.
The podcast.
We'll see you next week, or we'll see you on the Patreon. Bye.
Bye.